them. Okay. It is in the same vein that a young Zambian entrepreneur is cracking his head to address the problem of lack of an efficient bus ticketing system in the country. The best business ideas are born out of frustration. So goes the saying by Richard Branson, proprietor of Virgin Airlines. For a young Zambian entrepreneur, the frustration of trying to buy a bus ticket to Nakonde led him to develop an idea for a bus ticketing system in Zambia. It all started in 2014, as he explains.
I think for us it's about creating what I call the new normal. I think that's what business and technology is about. It's a concept that we call creative destruction. So if you think about the way people travel today by bus, they're used to one way. What we're trying to do is we're trying to show them a different way, and what is a more convenient way, and a more effective way of traveling. And I think for us the goal now going into 2015 is what we call customer acquisition, which is your point exactly. How do you get people to try your new way? And once they try that way, do they tell themselves, my goodness, this is so much better than the way I used to do it. This is the way I'm going to start traveling going forward, and I have to tell my friend. And that is what we're looking to do to try and go forward, because I think there are benefits to what we offer. I think we've talked to the consumers about those benefits. They've even told us, because a lot of what we've done was actually done through market research, speaking down to consumers and saying, what would be a convenient way to travel? Okay, so you're not familiar with the internet, but are you familiar with being able to go to a ticket booth in your neighborhood? Can we give you that? And so those are the way we've been thinking about this particular project. And now the challenge is getting people to actually accept the new normal, as we call it. And we're very confident that it will become the new normal once people get used to it.
32-year-old Mawano Kambeu then entered into a competition, the Global Entrepreneurship Summit in 2014, where he pitched his idea to the judges on how the system would operate.
And our solution is to use IT. And there are really two critical components of that solution that I want to cover. The first is distribution, which is about listening to what the customer wants. All these distribution methods allow them to book their bus ticket. And it's about catering to each segment of the market through the different channels. And as a company, we earn a 7% transaction fee from every ticket that is sold. The second component is really about the bus management companies, and I'm going to explain why they would embrace our system. Does anyone know what a bus, a 60-seater bus actually costs? Over $500,000. Yet many of the bus companies are still in the dark ages when it comes to running their operations. It's all cash. Tens of thousands of dollars coming in cash and all paper receipt. Does anyone see what the challenge with that actually is? Yeah. The number one issue that we heard from many of the bus companies is how there are actually no control systems. Employee theft is rampant.
Last year's tech competition attracted over 500 applicants from 61 countries in Africa, Asia, Europe, and South America. However, after an expert review, the competition brought together 67 semi-finalists from 23 countries around the world. Mawano emerged second and won $7,500 startup capital to implement his idea.
So the way we think about bus ticket travel, we call it a convenient and reliable way for people to book their bus ticket. It could be through using their phone, it could be going on the internet, it could be by going to an authorized agent, or it could be by even going to a supermarket as an example. So what we've done is we've thought about it from a distribution perspective. We've looked at the mass market and we said what are the different ways they can actually book their ticket, what are the ways they want, and we've provided those methods. And so each way of booking your ticket actually caters to a different segment of the market. So for someone who's in their office, who's got internet access, who's very familiar with online shopping, they may go online. For people who are very comfortable with their phones, which apparently is 12 million Zambians out of 14 million, they might be comfortable using their cell phones. And for people who want to see something tangible, maybe let them go to a ticket booth as well. So in building our business and building our plan, what we try to do is to try and say, what are the different ways people can, how are the different ways people can book, and let's give them those different methods. And so,
back home, he thought of providing employment opportunities for college students while they help him with the ticketing project. He has recruited about 30 students and school leavers whom he is also mentoring while they help with the survey.
Talking to the general public about the importance of technology, how technology can make their lives easier. So these are conversations you're having with people every day. That's what we're going to touch people. It's actually in business, is what we call customer acquisition. As you know, we're starting, right? This is a very
I've strained so hard to convince even those quite
Mawano took time to explain how the system will operate, and he has already set up a pilot project where travelers can book tickets from a booth in different locations.
We've actually hired 32 students to work on a market orientation and a market research data collection project. So that's already going out there and creating 30 opportunities for young people. And we're hoping that of those 30, there are a group that we can then bring in to then work permanently when we start building, for example, our customer service center, our data analyst center. So there are a lot of people who've come to us and says, oh no, you're going to create, you're going to not create jobs, but in actual fact we are, both tangibly and intangibly as well, because even the bus companies are going to need to beef up. If they're going to improve their level of service and start implementing IT, they're going to need personnel as well, in addition to what they already have to, to work in these areas, be it customer service, can it be business analysts. And I think these are the new types of jobs that young people, especially who are very IT savvy, who are more familiar with modern day technology.
If successful, this innovation will not only be convenient to travelers, but also it will provide employment to some youths in a country where unemployment levels are high. As it stands, over 30 youths have been employed through this project being run by a fellow Zambian youth. His startup business has developed a way for Zambian travelers to reserve and pay for their intercity bus travel with their phones, online, or from an authorized third-party agent. And now a look at the proverb of the week. This proverb says,